Happy Saturday. My name is Angela Petrilli. I'm here for another edition of the Riff Rundown with the awesome folks at Fishman. So thrilled to have you guys here today. So have your acoustic guitars ready for Steelers Wheel, Stuck in the Middle with You. Super fun acoustic song. We're going to be tuning the guitar a little bit different today. It's not too bad. Don't worry. It's going to be a lot of fun. So guys, you know the drill. Let me know where you are tuning in from and your favorite movie soundtrack. All right, so here we go. You're Stuck in the Middle with You. So that's the tune that we are going to be going over today. This one is a ton of fun to play, definitely geared toward my beginners, intermediates, but I think my advanced folks that are out there listening and watching today may learn a couple cool things too. So as I mentioned at the top, what we are going to do here is we're going to tune the guitar a little bit different. Why is that? If you notice and you listen back to this song, there are two guitars. You have one in a standard tuning, as it sounds like, sort of, and then you have one that's in an open tuning. So there's definitely these two guitar things that's happening. So with this, I thought I would split the difference. What we're gonna do here is this. We're gonna keep the guitar in standard tuning for the most part, but we're gonna drop this high E string down to D. So the tuning is going to be this: E, A, D, G, B, D. Okay, so instead of drop D at the top, we're going to drop the D at the bottom. So if you notice, if I were just to play like this D sus2 shape, listen to this. It's got this really cool droney quality. So we're going to use that. What I found when I was listening back to this song and coming up with the lesson for today, I heard this really cool droney thing that happened in the intro of the song. So we're going to go ahead and emulate that the best we can today. So here's how we're going to do that intro. And again, you guys know the drill. We're going to break this down part by part, nice and slow. Okay, so here's the intro again. So it looks and sounds like that. Let's go ahead and get this moving here. So we're gonna get our second and our third finger. Your second finger, go ahead and put that on the 7th fret of the G string. That is our D note. You're gonna go ahead and put your third finger on the 7th fret of the B string right there. That's your F sharp. Okay, now listen to how this E string tuned down to D sounds with this. You're going to strum from the D string downwards, the bottom 4 strings. That cool? Just like that. So that's what we want here. Now, again, really, really light strumming here. We don't want to be too incredibly aggressive with this. Let the pick do the work for you, as you know I mentioned in all these lessons. Okay, so 7th fret, G string, and B string, okay? Just like that. Now, bring this back a whole step to the 5th fret of the G string, 5th fret of the B string, B as in boy. So that's that sound we're gonna get there. Just like that, not too bad, right? Not too bad. Again, could you do this in standard tuning? You could. We're not gonna get that really cool droning effect with that D string on the bottom there, okay? So just wanted to mention that too. You could play this in standard, but the way we're doing this today kind of sounds a little open tuning-ish, which is always fun, So we're gonna strum that one time. now we're gonna do here for the next half of this, get your first finger, we're gonna put that on the 3rd fret of the B string, B as in boy, it's another D note there, okay? And your second finger, place that here on the B, which is located on the 4th fret of the G string. So it's gonna sound like this, and again, we're gonna strum those bottom 4 strings. Just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that again, nice and slow from the top. Just like that. Again. And again, we're gonna strum this one time as well. Okay, so again. Bring this same shape now back a whole step. Your first finger should be on the 1st fret of the B string, that's your C note. Your second finger should be on the 2nd fret of the G string, that's your A. Strum bottom 4 strings, okay? So let's go ahead and do that again. Let's do it a little cleaner this time. Again, these are live. Just like that. Again, let's do this a little slower now. Again. Now what's really neat here, we want to do here, you're going to lift that first finger up, still strum it, those bottom 4 strings, lifting the first finger up, now engaging the B string open, but then hammer back on to hit that C note with the 1st fret of the B string, okay? So now let's go ahead and do the whole bit. Isn't that droning high E string cool? Just like that. Let's do it one more time. All right, so that's what's happening there. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Really simple, really cool, very rhythmic, very drony. Again, really filling the space nicely, because this is a tune that, you know, you play around a campfire, you play with a bunch of friends, and it's fun to play all these parts on one guitar. So we're gonna really do our best to make the guitar sound as full as possible with this one today. So that's the intro, pretty fun, not too bad. Again, folks, you know what I say with all these lessons, you cannot play anything fast, you can't play slow. So take your time, have fun with it, take your time. It's worth the effort, I promise, it's worth the effort. Now, if you want to add a little bit more, you notice at the top what I did, at least at the top of this lesson, I was getting a little percussive. What I was doing is I was hitting the strings with this part of my hand. Hear that? That kind of hit there. Again, adding a little bit more body. When you're first starting this, if you feel like, oh, that might be a little too much for me right now, that's okay. Strum it straight. If you want to add a little bit more body, a little bit more rhythm, notice how I hit. Muting with this part of the hand here, okay, that heel of the hand. Right there, heel of the hand. I'll do that again a little slower. A little faster. Again, something to think about. I'm just planting the seeds here. Just planting the seeds here. Start, if that's a little hard for you, start where it's easier, and then build up to it, okay? It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the chords here. That's the big riff there. We're not gonna see it again. We played that, it's awesome. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna play this, I guess we can call it a D5, because again, since we can't put our finger here, because remember, that middle finger on the 2nd fret, that's not F sharp anymore. It's technically E, right? So if we did that, it's a D sus2 chord. And that's not what we want with this song. So You could, if you wanted to play, say, the F sharp, you wanted to make it true, you can go ahead and put your pinky there. So your first finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, which would be your A note. Your 2nd finger, place that on the 3rd fret of the B string, that's your D, and then put your pinky on that F sharp, because remember, we changed the string, so that's where F sharp lives now. If you want that true D chord, that 1, 3, 5, that D, F sharp, and A, you could do it that way. But I'm hearing a little bit of droniness with this too, so how we can do that as well, let's go ahead and engage that open E string, which is now a D note, and play that. So it's cool, like kind of D5 thing that's happening. So it would sound like this. And notice how I'm strumming and I'm doing that thing where I'm hitting the strings with the heel of my hand again. How we do that chord is like this. So you can go ahead and put your first finger on that A note, 2nd fret G string, 3rd finger on the D note, 3rd fret B string, B as in boy, and allow this high E string, which is now D, to remain open. Cool sound, right? So what we would do there is up, down, up, hit, down, up, hit, like that, okay? Not too bad, right? Pretty fun. So again, this gives a little bit more layers to the song, gives it a really cool sound. So the next chord is a G7. So how we would do this, again, we have to remember we changed this E string. It's not an E note anymore. Go ahead and play the top of the G chord like we would usually do if we were in standard tuning. First finger on that 2nd fret of the A string, your 2nd finger, 3rd fret E. So that top is the same, however, we want that F, right? We want that flat 7. So what we want to do here is you can go ahead and place your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of that E string. That's now your F note. And you would play it that way, like that. So you can do that. So that would be your new G7. It kind of looks like a regular G chord, right? Pretty cool, isn't it? So that's that chord there. So here's how they sound together. Let's give it a little context. See how that sounds like a 7th chord? Not too bad, right? Not too bad. Let's go ahead and slow that down a little bit for my beginners out there. Hit, up, down, up, hit, up, down, up, hit, up, down, up, hit. Now, 3rd finger, bring it down. 3rd fret, E string, moving it down from that B string. So that's what's happening there, okay? So when it comes to, so that's the verses, we play that, D and G, 7, pretty cool. All right, back and forth, great. So now we get to this chorus. You're gonna go ahead and play an A chord, just like we regularly do if we were in standard tuning, okay? The way that I like to play it, your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, that's your E, your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, that is your A, and your pinky finger is playing the C sharp located on the 2nd fret of the B string. So when we strum that from the A string downward, the bottom 5 strings, it'll sound like this. Isn't that beautiful? So you have that added D underneath that A chord. Isn't that great? And it's a simple move. All we did was change the E string to D. That's all we did here. And look at how these chords are sounding. It's sounding really fun. Okay? So that's what we're doing there. And again, we're just gonna strum nice and light, let the pick do the work for you. Again, notice how I'm swinging. I'm not doing any wrist strumming here, but that's the way I like to strum. If you like to strum from your wrist, great, no problem. So we've got to regular C chord, just play a C, let that new string ring, totally cool. Again, isn't that beautiful? Just like that. And then to a G chord. Now this G chord, we're gonna play it like this. First finger, second finger, third finger. Those are the fingers we're gonna use. First finger, second fret, A string, second finger, third fret. E string, get your third finger, place that on the D note, located on the third fret of the B string. So you're gonna get these two Ds together droning. Isn't that cool? Isn't that a great sound? Again, we're emulating a little bit of that open tuning that's happening in the song too. All right, so that's what's happening there. So let's go ahead and go through those three chords together. A, C, and G. And then back to that D chord. Stuck in the middle with you. Okay, so right there. Let's go ahead and do that again. From the top, what we are going to cover is the intro, the verse, and the chorus. And then after this, all we have is the bridge, and we've done the whole song today, folks. So here we go. I'll do one pass slow, and I'll do one pass a little bit faster. All right? So here we go. Take your time. You guys can do this. Chorus. That's what's happening there. Now, let's go ahead. From the top, we're gonna do it a little faster here. And here we go. Or if you want to add that F sharp at the end, just get your pinky there on the fourth fret. Okay, so totally up to you. Again, really, really fun song to play. So, as you guys know, let me talk about some of the gear that I'm using today. So, what I've got here is my beloved Martin 00017E in black smoke. I absolutely love this thing, super fun to play. This is my favorite guitar to teach on. I love teaching with this one. It's a lot of fun, super light, sounds really good, and it's really, really starting to age, you know, and it's not that old of a guitar. I think I bought it back in 2016, beginning of 2017, but really, really cool guitar. As far as pickups, what I've gotten here are the Fission Matrix Enhance. Love these pickups, super, super great. They sound really good, nice and clear. I mean, you can't complain about that, right? It's good stuff, it's good stuff. As far as what's happening in DI land, acoustic imaging land, what I have here is the silver box that I always talk about. You guys always hear me talk about it. The Fishman RS Spectrum DI. This is something that I mention to at every single one of these lessons. I never leave home without it. It is a staple in my acoustic rig. I absolutely love it. I will leave a link in the video description as well as on my Facebook page where you guys can get a link to check this thing out. I love it. Sound people, when you bring this to a gig, sound people will just have tears in their eyes because they're just so happy because it makes their job easier as mixers and it makes your job a hell of a lot easier too because it allows the guitar to sound as it should, and it's great. And there's also an anti-feedback little button that you can press too if things start to get crazy. This thing's got you covered. So really, really great Really, really great piece of equipment. Seriously, I can't say enough good things about it. I just absolutely love it. So be sure to check one of those out. I really love it. Again, staple on my acoustic board. So as far as the amps are concerned, what I have here is a Fishman Loudbox Performer as well. So that is going through the circuit out to you, wherever you are in the world. So again, it's pretty lightweight for the amount of epic loudness that comes out of this thing. It's a super great acoustic amp. I've been really enjoying using it on these lessons. Sounds great. Really cool effects too. Let's see, what do they got here? You got some echoes and delays and reverbs and chorus and flange and all of that good stuff. So be sure to check them out. I actually have a Loudbox Mini as well, and I really love that one too for my smaller acoustic gigs. I use that one too, but for these streams, I'm going through the Performer, and it's really, really great. And then mic'd up to an SM57 into Logic and out to all of you. And then I want to shoot some major props to Mr. Ryan Fitzsimmons over at Fishman, who just does a killer job in making sure that these videos sound great and that they get out to you guys and for you to enjoy. So major props to Ryan, wherever you are, Ryan. Thank you so much. Ryan's the best. Ryan's the best. So gotta give him a shout out. So there we go, folks. So that's the Fishman trifecta that I like to use, that I like to say when I play my acoustic stuff. It's just great, folks. Can't say enough good things. Okay, so we've gone through the intro, we've gone through the verse, we've gone through the chorus. Okay, so now we have the bridge here. Lucky for us, what's really great is a lot of these chords we know already except for one, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. So we go to that G7 in that bridge. And again, similar strumming pattern here. We're not doing a lot of different things, okay? So again, that G7 grip, remember, since we changed the E string down to D, it's going to change the placement of that F note. So be mindful of that, because if we do that here, it's not F anymore. F's gonna be here on the 3rd fret of that E string, okay? So now we're gonna go to that D5. Right, letting that E string drone a little bit because now it's a D note. Back to that G7. So this part here is, well, your family all can come and slap you on the back and say to please. So that part, again, that's the part that we're playing here. So we've got that droney D, right, the D5. We're gonna go ahead and let that ring. That first please, please. And then this one on the second please. Here's that chord, here's how we play it, here's the name of it. So this is gonna be an A minor 7, add 11, why? That's your D note. That's the add 11. So first 2 fingers here to make that A minor 7 shape. You're going to go ahead and put that first finger on the C note, 1st fret of that B string, okay? Your second finger, place that on the 2nd fret of the D string. D as in dog, that is going to be your E note. You have your open G, right? Making it the minor 7. That G is your flat 7. So there you go, and you're gonna let that ring as well. Just like that. So whole note. And that's me tapping on the guitar in case you're wondering what the tapping is. Just like that, let that sustain. Just ring, isn't that cool? Aren't those chords great? And these chords are sounding the way they are because we just changed that one string, okay? That's the whole tune. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run through it again really quickly and we are done for today, folks. Again, if you guys are having a great time, if you've been enjoying these lessons and learning a lot, I encourage you, go and give the folks at Fishman a follow on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of that good stuff. They've got amazing content too. Our buddy Greg does some really great videos. One of the best guitar players in the world as far as I'm concerned. I love that dude, he's great. And just a bunch of great stuff, bunch of great gear that's coming down the pipe, so be sure to check that out too. But yeah, give those guys a follow. Really, really good stuff. Again, if you're enjoying these lessons, I'm your host, Angela Petrilli. You can follow me, angelapetrillimusic.com. Booking a bunch of shows in LA for August and September of 2021. So those of you who are in the area, go and see if I'm playing in a venue near you. Doing acoustic and electric gigs, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Doing my comeback gig with my band Angela Petrilli and the Players at the Mint in Los Angeles on September 8th, 2021 at 8 p.m. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it's good stuff. Hope to see you there if you're in the area. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and do this from the top. And again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe. So here we go. From the top. With the song here at the very, very end, we get that stuck in the middle with you, right? And it goes back and forth, that D chord, stuck in the middle with you. And you're gonna get that at the very end again, very climactic ending. Just two really good, strong downward strokes at the very end. And there's some really tasty slide playing too, which is just so much fun. Again, a really, really fun song to play. Not too terribly hard. And again, could you do this in standard tuning too? Absolutely. We're just not gonna get that drony effect that we do when we drop this E string down to D. So if you did, say you didn't want to do this, say you didn't want to tune that E string down, totally okay. You would just play the regular shaped chord. So you would play your D like this, right? That would be your F sharp, so you can go ahead and do that. As far as your G7, you would play it like this, okay? Your A, C, G chord, you would play the same except the G chord, because that's the grip that I like. You guys know that. Where you can go ahead, first finger, second fret of the A string, your second finger, third fret of the E string, third finger on the D note, right? Third fret of the B string, and then pinky finger playing the G right there on the third fret of the E string. So you can play this in standard tuning too. I just, anytime, you know, you can throw in, again, mixing guitar parts and blending it for one single instrument. It can be a lot of fun. So I thought it'd be really interesting to do that today for this lesson. So playing this with the E string tuned down to D. Again, my name is Angela Petrilli. I hope you guys had a fantastic time learning today. As I always say, I wish you so much success. Tag me and Fishman in your videos when you're practicing and learning this stuff. We would absolutely love to see it. And again, you guys are capable of learning these tunes, I promise. I promise. Take the time, make the effort. It is so worth it. It's always good to put a little bit more music into the world, I think. So again, I'm your host, Angela Petrilli. You can give me a follow, angelapetrillimusic.com. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channels. It helps the cause. It's a lot of fun. You can find me on Instagram too, Angela Petrilli Music, on Facebook, Angela Petrilli Music, on Twitter, all of that good stuff. It's a lot of fun. Hope to see you soon at a live gig. So everybody, I wish you much success. Take good care. I will see you next time, Saturday, 12 p.m.